Hey guys, I hope this video isn't too bright because I'm sitting right in front of my window. It's partly cloudy, so my video can be really bright and wash me out, and it can get really dark, so just bear with me. So my vibe today is back to school. It's a back to school video, a chatty video about just school. This is more geared towards like grade schoolers and high school and college. If you're in college or grad school, you can take some of these things that I'm talking about, but my mindset will be like grade school, high school. So I started high school when, what year? 2002. So 2002 was when I was a freshman in high school, and I graduated from high school in 2006. So it's been a little time. I wanted to do a back to school advice video, just like more chit chat and getting you guys ready for high school with like a good mindset, a good attitude, a good outlook, a good focus. For me and Inky, we are nerds to the bone, and we've always been nerds. We'll always be nerds. We love school so much, and the first days of school was like the best day ever. You got your new crispy school supplies, your new crispy school clothes, because we had school uniforms all my life, so it was like more our style probably came out more with like shoes and like jewelry, like the little jewelry that you can wear in Catholic school. But you know, we try to have our own style and things, especially with our hair. We were at one point, we were the only black kids in our grade school from kindergarten to 8th grade, of what, 600 something kids, and we were the only black people in that whole school. So our hair would be like our style, or what would have set us apart, and we loved that. But yeah, but first day of school was always the opportunity for us to like come back with a new attitude, new style, new mentality, new focus, just a better version of what we were last year, and just a new time for a new beginning, to reinvent ourselves for the school year and come in there blazing through academics and friends and having a good time and enjoying school. So reinventing yourself. So when it's the first days of school, new school year, take it as a time to like reinvent yourself. I'm gonna keep saying reinvent yourself, because beginnings of things is always like the best time and best motivators to always be like better than you were before. So reinvent your attitude. In grade school and high school, I was known as the quiet girl. I was a shy girl. I didn't talk unless I had to. I was just extremely shy. But every year, I would always challenge myself to be less shy for the new school year than I was, you know, last year. And I felt like I did good. Like now, like to this day now, I've gotten better throughout the years and stuff like that. But I always told myself to have a vision of you just being more, like, I was always confident, but I was still shy. So just more talkative, more bubbly, more like sure of myself if I'm gonna say something or do something. And then friends, you know, in grade school it's a little bit harder to like, for us, like going the way our school was, to like change your friends group. But the friends that I had in grade school, I liked them, and we always had a good time, and it was the same group of friends from beginning of school until 8th grade. So when high school started, like our whole, like we were like a feeder school for a high school. So you know, going to a high school, you have that group of friends you had all throughout your grade school life, but then it's like you're mixed in with new kids. So that was like the best time for me to like reinvent like my friends that I hang around with, and like make new friends, and kind of drop off the ones that, you know, I really didn't have things in common with, or they weren't the type of people that I want to hang out with and stuff like that. So reinventing your friends. If you have friends from your last school year that weren't good for you, were toxic, didn't motivate you, maybe were so negative, you know, maybe use this new school year as a time to change your friends group. You don't have to drop all your friends, but maybe just keep the ones that you know are really good, true friends for you, and then venture out and find new friends. And it's also good to have different groups of friends. When I was in high school, I had different groups of friends. So I had friends that were like in like the band, like the nerds kids, as they would say. I had friends in the gothic group. I had friends in like the sports group, and I had friends that were like, what other groups were there? I don't know. What other groups are in high school? Like the popular people? I don't know. I guess you would call it that. But my category of person I was like, I had friends, and I had upperclassmen friends, and I had lower classmen friends. So I was kind of like a general person. So I had friends in all different groups. So it's good to have friends in different groups because, you know, you can always change up your atmosphere, your outlooks on things, your experiences with people and stuff like that. So, you know, be more adventurous and try to make new friends. Attitude. So for me, if I always say, if I was the person I am now in high school, I would have, you know, joined more clubs. I would have maybe been a part of like student council, or there's another group in our high school that were in charge of like morning announcements and like morning news and stuff like that. But I was too shy to like really get into like clubs and stuff like that, but I wish I did. But Inky and I, we did form our own dance group, and we performed at pep rallies and stuff, and we were with like my best friend Erica and stuff like that, and her sister and a couple other girls in our school. So we actually made our own group, our own club, when we were in high school, which was pretty cool, and I'm really glad that we did. So like, I have that to say that I did in high school. So we had our own group, we performed at pep rallies and stuff, and it was fun. Like, we had our own uniforms, and we danced to like Chris Brown and Terror Squad and Sierra, like all those groups that were back in like 2000, like in the 2000s. So yeah, so we had our own group, so which was fun. So this year, when you're a new school year, maybe just give a challenge to yourself to maybe join one new group of like a club, not group, a club, one new club, maybe yearbook club. Maybe find a way to like start your own club, which is actually pretty cool, like how we did. So maybe if there's no clubs out there that you want to join, maybe start your own club and, you know, make it unique, and maybe people will be like, actually that's a good idea for a club, like I want to join and stuff like that. So be adventurous, put yourself out there, and it helps you gain confidence and more belief in yourself, that you're stronger when you're put in situations that you may not totally know all of, or you're not the most comfortable with, but it helps you grow in character and as a person. So get out there, join clubs, join the cheerleading squad. I always wanted to join the cheerleading squad, and I feel like I had a good opportunity to do it, but I wasn't as like go-getter as I could have been in that department. So when I think about it now, like if I was me in high school now, like I would definitely have joined the cheerleading squad that I always wanted to join. But I don't know, I didn't have that extra like push. There was a time in 8th grade where a couple of my friends were in cheerleading, and they were like, "Ify, you're gonna be such a good cheerleader, like you should join cheerleading squad." I asked my mom, and she was like, whatever you want to do, whatever. Like then she let me. So I asked the cheerleading coach, and I was like, I know I didn't do the camp in the summer before the school year started, but can I join cheerleading? And she kind of like discouraged me in joining. And I felt like, because I was like the only black person in that whole school besides Inky, so it's like maybe they didn't want a black person on their team, on the cheerleading squad, for whatever reason. And the coach was one of the cheerleading girls' like mom, and she was like one of the best cheerleaders. So I don't know, I may have been a threat because I was a dancer. I may have been a threat, I don't know, but she kind of discouraged me from it. But if I was more like mentally strong in myself at that time, I would have made sure that I was on that cheerleading squad, but I didn't. But it's fine, it's okay. I still had a dance group in high school, so my little desire to do something like that was fulfilled greatly. So yeah, so you know, take a stand in something, be a good voice in school, be a leader. You don't have to even be a leader with voice, but you can be a leader by actions. So if you were a bully in school, or maybe you weren't the nicest to people, maybe this year, time to reinvent yourself. Don't let yourself be the person that is known to be mean or not nice to people and stuff. So new time to reinvent yourself, have a better attitude, and just be better all around. So let's do academics. So in high school, grade school and high school, Inky and I, we got good grades, and we were, with Nigerian parents, like, grades were everything. So we were very motivated to always have good grades, the best grades that we can, and do well on tests. And mommy still owes us money. Mommy still owes us money, but my mom would always give us $2 for every A exam and a like quiz or project or something that we had in school, like during the whole school year. $2. And you know, it was good motivation for us to always, you know, do really well, and we did. But there was time, but it's like, okay, so you have two girls that are doing really good in school and getting A's. You owe us, like, mommy was owing us back payments on those exams, and we had to keep those exams because, like, mommy, we didn't get our $2 from that math exam that was 2 weeks ago, and she still owes us money. Inky could probably calculate how much money mommy still owes her from her A exams. But yeah, but my mom would always give us like little incentives to do really good in school. So it was $2 for every A exam and stuff like that. So that was a good money maker. I made a lot of money in grade school with those $2 per test. So yeah, so just be really motivated and think about like what your future goals or dreams, like what you want to do in college and stuff like that, because your grades, even now in grade school, like are determining like your high school route, and your high school route determines your college route. So just because you're in grade school and it's so far from college, like your grades and how you're doing now will really predict, you know, how well, or how maybe like the journey to your goal career and stuff like that. So as I said, you know, just because you're in grade school and it's so far from college doesn't mean that, you know, you shouldn't be thinking about it now. But for my high schoolers, your next step is college. So definitely your academics are a key player in your future college plans, where you want to apply, your ACT scores, your SAT scores, GPA, scholarships, all that stuff like that. So be focused, be very mindful of, as I said, the steps you're doing now to get to where you want to go. So make sure you're taking the correct classes with the correct the correct like skill level that you're at. One mistake I made when I was in freshman year of high school is that I wasn't very hands-on with my classes, because like I know, like, my parents know as much as they can, but they're not in my class at school. So I was enrolled in a wrong math class when I was in a freshman year, but I didn't do anything or say anything about it because I didn't have that go-getter attitude that I developed late in high school. So I was in the wrong math class when I was a freshman in high school. I was in the math class for people that have a very, very, very hard time with math. And I've never had a hard time with math, so I don't know how I ended up in that class. And it was weird because like that class, when I after some time I looked and I was just like, all these kids are the kids that like that struggle in school. And I'm not struggling in school, you know. I'm like, why am I in this class? And I realized because none of my friends that I know that I'm like on the same academic level as them were in my class. I'm like, why am I not in class? I was like, dang, I'm in the wrong class. But I didn't really like try to make a change or do something about it. So make sure that all your classes you're taking are the classes that you need, you know, for whatever college you're going to help with your GPA, to help with the prerequisites for whatever program you want to do when you're in college. So ACTs and SATs, when I was in high school, I think I finished taking all my ACTs and SATs by my junior year. Like before by fall semester, by the end of fall winter semester of junior year, I was done taking SATs and ACT exams, so I didn't have to worry about it this spring semester of junior year and senior year. And I remember that was the only stressful time in my high school career, was applying for college. Like, I remember I had nights where I slept on the floor amongst like college applications and papers and stuff. Woo, that was a tough time. But yeah, I remember those times. But you know, you have to grind to get where you want to go. And I made sure that I was hands-on with, you know, college and where I want to go, when I want to study, so that, you know, because it's my future. So ACTs and SATs, my mom and my dad, they put me in ACT, SAT prep classes, and they were like 20 minutes away, like in Akron, Ohio. So I always had to take a taxi to those classes at a university, and I did them, and they helped with me taking the exam and getting the best grade that I can get. And I think it was Kaplan. Yeah, it was Kaplan courses. So definitely take the ACT and SAT prep classes anywhere that you can. There's so many nowadays, so you can look online and try to find them. I know like some high schools definitely have them. Colleges have them, so if you're a high schooler, look into what colleges offer ACT and SAT prep courses. And some like Princeton Review and Kaplan and all that stuff, like they most likely do. So you have to look it up online to figure out and stuff like that, like the closest one to you, how much they cost, and the prep work. Like, is it a class setting, is it a one-on-one setting, is it a small group setting? When I did mine was a small group setting. So we had a class of like maybe like 4 or 5 students, and it was a teacher, and you know, went through the whole test taking process and stuff like that. I know junior, when he's doing his now, I think his is one-on-one. So he has a one-on-one prep course and stuff that he's doing. So whatever setting works for you, you know, do that. But just make sure you get the books too. So you have to get the books. My dad always ordered the books for us, like on Amazon or something like that. So there's prep books and there's classes. So I did it all. When I was at home, not in those classes, I took the practice tests and courses like in the book and stuff like that. So prep. The ACTs and SATs, it's the questions and stuff isn't the hard part. It's getting through them and knowing how to solve them in the correct time. So the test taking is majority of learning how to take a test, a time test, and pacing yourself and making sure that you get through everything and finish on time, but know how to problem solve like fast. So that's why you need to always practice. So make sure you do prep work and all that stuff for ACTs, SATs. I guess nowadays they don't do, there's what was it, is it ACT now that most colleges accept now? I guess like when I was applying for school, a lot of schools wanted both, and some schools just wanted one or the other. And some students nowadays don't even take, I think it's the SATs, they just take ACTs, something like that. Because I think junior, I don't even know what juniors, I know junior is definitely taking the ACTs, but I don't know if he's taking the SATs. I'm not sure. But look into the colleges that you want to apply to, what exam score they accept, you know, and always pick the one where your score, it looks the best for you. So if you did really good with the ACTs and your score is really good, the SATs, your score is like average, not as good looking as your ACT, then apply with that. Look into colleges that have early admission. I think during this time is when they start accepting applications, and then they let you know really early if you got into the school. I think even before like Christmas time or something like that. I think you find out or something like that. But make sure you look into like early admissions and have your test scores and application forms ready to apply, because as I said, early admissions is really good. For those of you that are doing like health sciences, like the one I have experience in is pharmacy school and med school. Inky went to med school, I went to pharmacy school. Definitely they have early admission, so look into that. Inky and I did accelerated college. Like our college experience was accelerated because we did accelerated. We got into accelerated programs when we were still in high school. So I got into accelerated pharmacy program when I was in high school. And I applied to general pharmacy route, as in doing like pre-pharmacy when you go in, and then after 2 years you start applying to pharmacy school and all that. And then I also applied to the accelerated programs. I did both, and Inky did the same too. So I got into an accelerated pharmacy program in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I went to Duquesne University School of Pharmacy. So I had to know what exams, like the ACT they accept, my recommendation letters, the application and stuff like that. So for me, my pharmacy program that I got into was already set from the first day of school to the last days of school. And there was some classes, my first 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, that I think like maybe four classes that I could choose my own self, like, oh, do you want this or this? But everything else was already set in stone. Like the program is set, like it's structured, set. So just go through the program and you finish and you're good, you know? So I think I had only 4 classes that I chose for myself. Actually, it wasn't even 4, maybe it was just 2. One of them I chose was photography, and the other one I chose was, it was religion, some type of religion. You have to, my school was, my college was a Catholic school, so religion was required. Religion was required freshman year, so you had to pick one of the religion classes of all the ones they had. So I think I chose, I forget the name of the religion class, but I went to Catholic school all my life, so I've learned everything. I've learned everything that I feel like I could for school. Like Inky and I studied Hebrew scriptures, like we've done it all. So I was like, okay, going into it, I knew that whatever religion I took, it wasn't going to be difficult. So I think I took like a really good religion class. It was really, really easy, but it was really interesting. So I took that, and then I chose a photography class. That's the only class I ever chose in my whole career of pharmacy school, of college pharmacy school, because college and pharmacy school was all one for me. So that's my whole career. So I did pharmacy school in 6 years, accelerated program. We went all through summer and stuff like that. So I did my undergrad, like my undergrad college that people do in 4 years, I did in 2 years. And then pharmacy school was the last 4 years. So that was my whole college career in 6 years. So med school, there's accelerated med school programs. As I said, Inky did that. You guys gotta look online for all the schools in the United States that have accelerated programs, so you can apply to it, and then apply to the regular route also, just in case, to have like a backup plan. Anything else for like the medical school program? So yeah, there's gonna be interviews for medical school for like the accelerated program, so get into that. There's so much I can talk about that because it's so much, but do research, talk to people, find people that have gone through the route or going through the route and stuff like that, so you can ask them questions. So yeah, so that's all that I know based on my experience. I don't know any other tips and stuff for all the other majors that you can do, but any major that you want to do, look into it. And with that, be a go-getter. Be you know that person in class that's like over obsessed with like exams, and they're like, you need to chill out, you know, like it's not that serious. Like you need to be a little bit more like them, not act like them totally, but be a little bit more like them. Be on top of your work, be on top of your exams, you know. Maybe try to be the person that always knows what's coming up, like, you know, like don't be that person always asking, when do we have an exam again, when's our exam again, da, da, da. Like be the person that knows what's going on. Be organized with all your classes, your homework, your exams, your quizzes, applications, extracurricular activities, all that stuff like that. Be on top of it, be a go-getter. Try to just just try to always do well on all your exams. You know, get as much information as you can, put as much effort and as much time into studying and preparing and organizing as you can. I've done many videos on my planners and having a planner in school. Before you see this video, I would have already had a video on the planner that I'm giving away, 2 planners that I'm giving away for the school year. So I will link below the planner that I've used before, like Erin Condren, and the planner that I did a video on before this video. So last but not least, you got to get into hair and beauty for school. Pre-plan your hairstyles maybe for the week. So maybe have one hairstyle for the whole week and then change it up every week. Maybe a hairstyle for the month and change it up every month. If you're able to do a hairstyle every day, that's great. But when you're in grade school and high school, like, you should not be worrying about your hair, you should be worrying about your school and academics. That's why, like, in Nigeria, girls cut their hair very short, because you shouldn't be worrying about what you're doing with your hair. But have a hairstyle maybe every week, every month and stuff like that. Pre-plan them. So maybe if you have to buy hair or buy supplies, you can save up money so that when it's time to do a new hairstyle, you have everything that you need and stuff like that. So along in your planner, when you're planning your exams and your homework and your quizzes and your projects, make sure you have a comb for your hair, so you can plan your hairstyles and how much you need for that new hairstyle for next month. And makeup, I didn't start wearing makeup until either sophomore or junior year of high school. So my first makeup that I wore was actually like face powder, and I think I had mommy buy me face powder from the local grocery store, and it was CoverGirl pressed powder, and that was my makeup that I started wearing. And then after that I got into mascara, and then after that eyeliner. But the thing is, like, times are different now. Like, people be rolling up to school looking like Kylie Jenner these days. So I don't even know what y'all be doing with your makeup these days. So I don't even know what advice to give. But you don't need to be wearing makeup to school. Even going to Catholic school, we were definitely not allowed to wear any makeup. Definitely no nail polish. Definitely no nail polish. I think I think only lip gloss was what we were allowed to wear. And it can't be colored. It had to be clear lip gloss. So don't worry too much about makeup going to school. You definitely don't need to be worrying about that, because the earlier you start wearing makeup, the more damage you're gonna do to your skin. Like, your skin is gonna age faster, because yeah, makeup is made to make you look better and beautiful and all that stuff like that, but it's like half of this makeup stuff is just chemicals and stuff. It's not all natural, all of them, so it's not really helping your face at all. So the best thing to have is good skincare. So if you want to be splurging on any beauty products when you're, you know, in grade school or high school, splurge on like the best face wash or the best face moisturizer or the best face exfoliator that you can. And then last but not least, sleep. Make sure that you get as much sleep as you can. The less sleep you have, the more likely you are to be short, and the more likely you are to be overweight. So make sure you have good sleep hygiene, eat healthy, exercise. Last but not least, be happy, be confident, smile, love your life. No one's life is perfect. Even if you think your life is like horrendous, everybody else can find something horrendous in their life going on too. So don't think that somebody else's life is perfect and your life is not perfect. I know I've seen some comments and I don't like them. I've seen some comments where people comment like on me and Inky's pictures and like, oh my gosh, you guys have like perfect lives, like perfect husbands and perfect lives and da da da. And we laugh at that, because it's like, if you guys even knew, like, if like Inky and I say this all the time, like, if they even knew what we had to go through just to get to this point, if they even knew what we went through to be able to have this and do this and do that, like, it's the same struggles that other people have in their lives. So just because, you know, people share the best moments in their life or the best times in their life, the happy times in their life, doesn't mean that they don't have bad times. And that doesn't mean that when you have bad times, you have a bad life and everybody else has a good life. So everybody has ups and downs. Everyone has struggles. Everyone has adversities. Everyone has family drama. You know what I mean? Relationship drama, friendship drama. Like, everybody goes through that. So don't think that whatever you see people doing, like on TV and on social media, like their life is perfect, because everyone has their thing, you know. Even if they pretend that their life is perfect, it's not. So yeah, so don't look at me, Nikki, and think that our life is perfect and, you know, like we have it all together and all figured out, and we just sit at home and just be like, oh, life is so easy. Because it's like, one day I hope I can say that, but I doubt it. But yeah, it's not. So don't think that. Like, we've been through things, like whatever achievement that you've seen us get to, we have cried about it. We have thought to ourselves, like, this is it. This is the end. Like, this is the best I can do. Like, there are times when we just like fell on our knees and just been like, just why? Like, you know what I mean? So don't think that our life is perfect. It's not. Like, we go through struggles. Things don't happen the way we would love them to. We have setbacks. We have hurdles. But one thing we know is that we're so grateful of all the things that we've accomplished, all the things that we've been given to our lives, all the things that we've have, and all the things that we've experienced. So those struggles make us really, 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 really appreciate what we have. And it makes us look back on that journey and see that we've come a long way. You know, like, I don't know. We've been through some stuff, me and Key. And, you know, I like how that now, after we've been through a stage and we're starting a new stage, we have the best time just talking about, you remember when this happened and it was so bad and we cried and we didn't even know how we were gonna get out of it. And, you know, it's just enjoy the journey of life. And don't think that your struggles are the only struggles in the world. Everyone has struggles and nobody's life is perfect. So just be happy with your life, be content, and do as much as you can and leave the rest up to God. And just pray that He gives you the strength and the motivation and the desire to get through things and get through hurdles. And be happy and smile. Okay? So I'll see you guys in my next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Hopefully it wasn't too long. But anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! I'm here for something bigger.